What's going on, Gate 7 International community, red and white fans? How are we doing today? I don't know about you guys, but I am elated. I am ecstatic. I haven't been this happy as a red-white Olympiacos fan in a very long time. 3 straight shows, 3 straight wins. It feels amazing. A lot to talk about. Basketball win. Of course, the huge win against Paok. But before we go any further, I'm joined by my fellow co-hosts, Costa Levoyani and Costas Lianos. That's Costa with a K. I'm Adi, your host as well for the night. Boys, how do we feel tonight?
Terrible. It's just, I was just thinking, it sucks that I'm alive these days. I had a terrible night. I don't know about you guys. I was just, horrible night. Horrible. It's been absolutely dismal. I don't know. How was your night, Costa? Hopefully it was better than mine. Anything new? Did I miss anything today?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Panathinaikos FC and Ayak FC for rejecting our bids to postpone today's game against Paok. I'd like to thank them. I'd also like to thank Mr. Melisanidis and Mr. Alafuzos. And also I'd like to thank the teams that abstained, because what a fucking night tonight. Brilliant time to be an Olympiacos fan. The football team's transformed under this new manager. The basketball team's picking up steam right at the perfect moment, coming to crunch time, and just look at our faces. Like, I don't even know what to do. I'm so happy. Like, it's just I'm sure it's radiating through the screen. So
I know what I'm gonna do.
Brilliant night. Way ahead of you.
Tonight's sponsor. No, it's not. Are you watching Alpha?
Hey,
guys,
we're not advertising, but last time I pulled this out, it was a bad night. But now it's I'm drinking it on a positive vibe.
What a night, you guys. What a crazy night this has been. We have a lot to unpack here. I mean, obviously, Olympiacos winning the cup tonight after despite losing Kanan to an injury. A huge win over Panathinaikos, a dominant one, a win that shows that shouts who runs Greek basketball right now. Also, the football side of things, Jose Luis Mendilibar, 2 games in charge, 2 huge wins against 2 very tough opponents. We're going to unpack all this. I am very happy right now. We all are. But I do want to remind everyone that we were here almost same time last year after we ended Ike's undefeated run at Hagia Sophia, and we thought we were turning a page. So long road ahead, you guys. Long road ahead. But Ari, I believe we do have a bit of housekeeping to go.
As always, guys, we don't forget to like and subscribe. Those of you that are tuning in, already well over 100 people have already come in and out, at least to say hi or to check to see what's going on. Like and subscribe. Every engagement helps the algorithm find more red and white fans to bring to this community. This community does not stop growing. And of course, on days like today, when everybody's thrilled, everybody's happy, huge wins, it brings more of us together. So help us grow that community, because it is growing every day. We're shooting for 7K on Instagram right now, moving towards 4,000 subscribers on YouTube as well. So help us continue to grow this community. And it's not too late. You can join us on Patreon. Thank you and welcome to our newest Patreon member, George Baliatsos. Thank you, buddy, for joining the community. And thank all of our patrons for helping us continue to find ways to make this an even bigger project. Super excited for that. And Costa, we have one more little surprise for everybody. Costa and Costa. You guys might notice I have been wearing something interesting. Maybe you have noticed, maybe you haven't. Maybe you've noticed the little logo in the front.
Bring it closer to the camera.
Here. The merch is here. It's right here.
Finally.
Gate 7 International. I don't know if I can get it close enough to the screen. There you have it. The merch is here. Adidas. You can even get your name embroidered on any piece of clothing that we have on the store as well. Super excited for it. The merch is here, boys and girls. This is just one of the samples. The rest is coming next week, and you guys will finally be able to see kind of how everything looks like It's awesome. This took a lot of time to put together. I am sorry for the delays, but I'm so happy. We are so happy that it is here and we can share this with you. So a lot of great things, a lot of great news tonight, not just for the football and basketball teams. So what a Sunday.
Absolutely,
Let's
man.
get to it. Let's get into it. What are we talking first? Basketball? What are we talking
Wait,
about?
wait. Some people are like, bring Labro tonight, says Leonidas. I have to tell you,
I'm sorry, Costa. Oh, no,
Labro
you
is
go ahead.
probably at Nalu. It's probably at Nalu with Ramon. Sorry, I had to do that. Look at having some fun in the comments. Great to see the positivity of Olympiacos fans from all over the world. Don't forget to let us know where you're tuning in from. Just drop it in the comments there. We've got people tuning in from all over the world, whether you're in Australia, United States, in Europe, Africa, Asia, wherever you are. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Thanks again for joining. Again, don't forget to hit that like button. It takes you 2 seconds, helps us out tremendously. But yeah, with that, should we dive into some comments first?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I'm game for anything, baby.
We're being inundated with comments right now. It's insane, and plus, there's over 100 of you like watching us right now. And how many likes do we have right now, Costa? I mean, last I checked, it was like 25.
I'm not tracking that, but I am going to hustle.
It was over
people.
60 last I saw. So thank you, guys.
Guys, come on.
Concept Calcio says seen more positivity, hustle, and belief in 2 matches than the last 2 years. It's not even just the results. It just feels like we are in safe hands. John Pitt says early days, but it's definitely looking and feeling a lot better. Gus Drax, the man behind our intro music, Yasure Gus, says good evening, everyone. What a great day. What a night. What a night. Andreas Mitis, I think tuning in from Sweden, says Mendilibar is logical, builds on fundamentals, and coaches matches smartly. Back to basic, brings new life to this team. John Sabuka says Costa's been hitting the Ricina hard.
Nope, that's the beer, my man. Greek beer, though. Greek beer. Taseveste, Greek beer. Greek economy. I help Greek economy.
This is a good one. So Gus Drax says, guys, just wanted to inform you, Katsouranis is sick Olympiacos today and didn't make it to Betarades.
But I do want to say, though, Kostas Katsouranis is a Greek legend. I have so much respect for him. He is also a cool dude. Gus, thank you so much for the comment. I don't watch Betarades personally, but, I do have respect for Katsouranis, but personally.
Moving
I got
on.
nothing to add to that.
No, me neither. Delta says everyone will say Padense, but our midfielders were absolutely perfect. We're going to get into all of that, breaking it down. Because I'm sure we'll talk about that. This is not just a community; it's a family. Amen.
Amen, buddy.
Smackdown.
Thank you so much.
Guys, the check-ins from all over the place. I saw North Carolina. I saw a North Carolina Greek in here. Tell me what city you're in, because I'll be down in Charlotte in a couple of weeks for a HEPA thing. So I'm very curious to see where that person is from. But crazy stuff here. Oh my God, God. I just feel so.
There's a bunch of people here. There's a bunch of people here from Australia, like Scotland.
Charlotte.
Oh, Greece too. Right?
I saw La Mia also. This is incredible. Our good friend Costa's back here too. Where is he? Kostas Papadimitriou. We haven't seen him in a while. Where's he been?
Oh shit. Yeah, we haven't. Yes,
there he is. There he is. Our old friend right here. Costa, how are you doing, buddy? Oh my God.
Ari, I found a really good fan of yours as well. You want to meet him?
Who?
You said it, Adi. You said it, man.
Outlaw Jorge. That's George. Another one that we haven't seen.
I haven't seen him for a while.
I love it. Oh, look at this.
New York,
everybody.
Astoria, yes. New York.
Sepolia. Big ups.
Yeah. Big ups for Sepolia.
Wow. This is incredible. Well,
we do have fans. I mean, we do have fans from every continent in the world, bar
We do.
Antarctica. So
Yes.
yes, but it's always amazing. It's always amazing every time we see this. It's always unbelievable what the impact this podcast has had, and we're so happy to have all of you guys. We're so happy to have you on board during the good times and the bad guys.
It really is.
Pigeon, tell you, it took me a while. It took me a while.
Very
It
steady.
took me a few seconds too. I was like, Pigeon? I've
Pigeon.
never heard of that place.
Fantastico Soares.
Τέλειος,
Pigeon
τέλειος.
Atiki. Nice. Dinos. Milan. That's
Yeah,
yeah,
Italy.
fantastic.
Wow.
And London, my
amazing.
hometown, John Moretti.
This is incredible, guys. This is incredible.
Loving the love, feeling the love, guys.
This is-
It feels like it's been a while. Like, you know, with podcasts, like chat shows, sports in particular, it's normally you feel like negativity or like bad results are what brings views. But like it's so wonderful to see so many people tuning in tonight on what's a fantastic night for the club, not just in football, as we said earlier. So, and I think just the club needed it so badly. Not just in football. Like, of course, in football more, but in basketball, like tonight was such an important night because Panathinaikos is on the rise. Lots of money being thrown in by Giannakopoulos over the summer, and we needed, like, you know, it was important, I think, tonight as a confidence booster going into the final stretch of the regular season in the EuroLeague as well. And then, like, you know, you think that tonight's win gives some kind of psychological boost and advantage even for the finals against. We're probably going to face Panathinaikos 99.9% in the Greek finals for the league, and we may face them as playoff opponents in the EuroLeague as well before getting to the Final Four. So massive night, like absolutely massive night. Can't be stated enough.
It can't. It really can't. And I know we'll probably end up talking about basketball, but before we get there, how refreshing is it to see a coach learn from his mistakes so fast? How refreshing is it to see the coach also?
Has he though? Are
it's
we
only
going to
been
see
2 games.
Carvalho? Are we going to see Carvalho in Hungary again?
I mean,
he doesn't change his mind, and he was supposedly doing rotation tonight. Remember, and like Panos told us the other day, he doesn't. If you haven't checked it, guys, please do check the interview of Panos giving us the full 411 on Jose Luis Mendilibar. He doesn't change his mind, and we read a lot about him, you know, rotating tonight. So, are we going to see Carvalho again in the lineup in Hungary? Hopefully not.
Look, maybe you do, but again, the changes, the substitutions today again were incredible. So, like, look, all right, 2 times in a row. Maybe he's lucky 2 times in a row, but I find that hard to believe.
No,
you know what I mean?
Not with those matches. Not with those kind of matches.
Exactly. And for me to see, okay, his first game made a mistake with the starting. Did I just see Indonesia?
Yeah.
Jakarta.
Wow. I think that's the first time. We've gotten an Indonesian in here before. That's incredible.
Hi, Corsa. Thanks for joining us, pal.
But still, I mean, he made a mistake the first game, first half, makes adjustments. The adjustments are great. Today, the major change was in the midfield. Today, and it changed everything. And then as the game went on, I started to panic a little bit that he was taking too long to make a substitution. But man, everything he did is great moves. And I honestly believe he understands the roster a lot more. Maybe he's more simple. I don't care. So much I saw in 2 games that I never saw the last 2 months. Little column. Lakis Gavalas is back again.
Lucky, you're either from Tumba or you're from Kolonaki. It's one of those two. Oh boy. This is going to be a long night, you guys. This is going to be. I knew I had to bring some beer with me.
Okay, people in the chat, do you want to talk basketball first, or do you want to talk football first? Let us know in the chat. Football or basketball first, and
we're in a good mood. We'll do whatever you want.
We'll jump to football or basketball. Has anybody seen Slukas? You mean Slukas?
Nope. Well, do we think he made? Honestly, though, like let's look at it at all aspects, because an athlete's point of view is always different. Obviously, I believe he made a huge mistake in leaving Olympiacos. How much of a big mistake was it to leave Olympiacos? I mean, what was he after? Man? What was he after? What was he after?
Over 3 million euros a year. That's what he was after. Come on,
he could have made that with Olympiacos. I mean, obviously not in this season. This season that we're having, but the next season that really never. You could have never even made close to that at Olympiacos.
No. We wouldn't have paid him 3 million.
No way, man. No.
And they're not even getting that value at Panathinaikos. Look, I'm not a basketball guy. You guys know that. But like I do like numbers. I like numbers a lot. And
really?
Yes.
Oh God.
Where can I send you champagne? Oh, 3 different countries.
Well, if anyone deserves the champagne bottle, in my opinion, it's Aris. My opinion.
Oh, I'll take it.
Anyway, okay, so it's actually a lot of people want to talk basketball first. I see, or at least from what I've seen in the chat. I'm going to be honest. I couldn't watch the first 3 quarters. I couldn't watch because I've more than 2 kids. I have 3 kids, so I had a bit of a difficult night tonight. But I was watching on live score, and at least from also some chats that I'm in, I saw that we'd missed something like we had 0 in 12 3-point attempts in the first half until Thomas Walkup knocked back a 3, and then it was a tight game, point for point, and then I think Walkup hit that 3. I don't think they ever got a lead after that. And then going into the fourth quarter, just to win that game with, was it 11 points difference in the end?
Yeah,
it says it says a lot. It looked quite comfortable.
It says you can spend 2 to 3 times our budget and still not get silverware. SMD. That's what it says. I love it.
You can't this is a team that's been built over years against a team that's being built with a hell of a lot of money and support. But money can't buy you instant success. We still got for everything that we've gone through this season, losing Nigel Williams-Goss to injury before today's game as well, and just in general, the doubt and the skepticism that's been around the basketball team since the beginning of the season. Slukas leaving, Panathinaikos making big money moves. It's we've talked about this before. In Greece, there's no patience in sports in general. Like there's no patience. Patience is an unknown word, and I think Coach Barzokas was saying from the beginning of the season, this is my team. I believe in it. If we need to make additions, then we'll make additions, but we won't force. We're not going to be forced into making moves in the market. I don't want to say anything nasty about the football team, but we made a move to get Filip Petrusev at the right time. We waited for him to be released from the NBA. We picked him up. Then Moses Wright, we had an injury at center, Milutinov out for 2 months. It forced our hand, and we made a great pickup in Moses Wright. Okay, you can say that maybe Iggy Brazdeikis hasn't really shown up yet since coming early in the season. We paid a buyout clause. So some people even complaining about Nigel Williams-Goss. Yes, he's injury prone, but he still can offer us a lot down the stretch, this season. And at the end of the team, this is a team that works within a system that is all about the team. It's not about bringing in that guard that's going to score 25, 30 points. As much as, even I would like to see a Mike James, Shane Larkin type playing for this team. Even that kind of player has to play within a certain system and learn to play a certain way. And, players like Brazdakis or players that have come in new this season, you just know that they're going to be better next year because they will know the system better. And there are plenty of examples in the team. Alec Peters, Isaiah Kanan. Last season, the amount of shit that those two guys in particular had to hear from fans. Peters was playing behind Sasha Vezenkov, the EuroLeague MVP. Got less minutes, but now his numbers, they're pretty much Sasha's numbers from last season. And Kanan, we all saw what he did in the Final Four last season, and I'm glad he stayed. So yeah, man, like I can't really get into more detail about today's game itself, just to say like it keep the faith. And I really think that with the last couple of wins we've picked up in the EuroLeague as well, and now winning the cup in Greece against Panathinaikos, who's above us in the EuroLeague standings as well, I think that's such an important validation of the work that's been going on in the basketball team, methodically, patiently, and we all hope it's going to pay off, and that it's just we're rolling with it and we're picking up steam. We got some big games coming up at home against teams like I think we're playing Madrid at home. We're playing Fenerbahce at the last game of the regular season. We've got big games coming up and they're all at home. So it's massive. It's massive for the basketball team tonight.
It definitely is. And real quick, I know we don't usually do this shout again this quickly, but we already have another new patron that has joined us. Our good friend Hussein is our newest patron. Join the Patreon community. The WhatsApp chat is pretty absurd, but I can guarantee you it's very entertaining. You got a very big glimpse of what we do in the WhatsApp chat on the last live show where we were getting on Lambro about his Freddo Cappuccino. So you can get in on the fun with that too. Join your buddy Hussein and join us in the WhatsApp group. So
I'm looking forward to hear how Labros' day was. He said he was going to do a museum today. I think that's how he put it. I'm very much looking forward to hear how it was. If we're lucky, we're going to get it in the Patreon group. So join us on Patreon, guys. Do register on Patreon.
And while we're at it, Costa K, guys, while you're at it, I just checked. 500 people have almost joined in already since the start of the show in the last 25 minutes. So like and subscribe if you're jumping in. Subscribe if you like the content you hear. Help us continue to grow this community and help us make the name Olympiacos bigger worldwide. We're trying to create the bridge between Greece and the rest of the world for Olympiacos. It costs you nothing. It takes less than a second to do. Hit that button and subscribe if you want to continue with us the rest of the way.
Hit the bell too. There's lots of great stuff coming up. New interviews with former player, existing member of the amateur team as well. Some interesting interviews coming up. I just dropped a few hints there. That's for free. And also hitting the like button and the subscribe button is also free. And there's lots of cool stuff coming up, guys. If you haven't checked out some of the interviews as well, check out the interviews on our channel, vlogs, loads of good stuff there. And merch is coming. Keep it locked. There's going to be some links thrown up on our YouTube, Instagram. Follow us on our socials. Let's go.
And a giveaway.
Awesome. I would like to touch on something, if I may, from Kostas Papadimitriou. Long comment, but I would like to read this out. Olympiacos is a basketball school all over the years. The organization of Olympiacos BC is built with some giant trademarks that rise from his powerful and unbeaten DNA. Coach, chess player, Bartzokas' philosophy is based on hard training and focus to the game plan 100%. He is a grandmaster coach. Well, I think that Kostas is my namesake is hitting the nail right in the head because guys, I told you basketball is a huge part of Olympiacos' DNA. we love the football team, obviously, but the basketball team, the club, is one of the best clubs. Let's not say the world, because the NBA is huge, but Europe, absolutely, an absolute major player in the European competitions. A team that can easily that can easily pose as a favorite to win the EuroLeague every single season. But that's not just because of name. That's not because of budget. That's because of the DNA. That you got a coach like Barzokas in there. You got players like Papanikolaou in there, like Wokop, there's a huge who and who at Olympiacos, a team that has been built throughout the ages. Like you said, Costa, like there has been some nagging, there has been some questioning, there has been some doubt, but but you gotta believe in this in this core that has been created, this backbone that has been created at Olympiacos. This team will obviously have failures along the way. Obviously they're going to play Panathinaikos in the playoffs in the league. I don't expect them to do a perfect finish, a clean sweep of 3-0, but it is the kind of team that gets the job done. Absolutely magnanimous victory tonight. Obviously it took until the third period to get things going, to get things rolling, get the 3-pointers as well. Obviously, this is not the kind of Panathinaikos that I remember, not the Zelimir Obradovic kind of Panathinaikos, but still, you cannot take anything away from this Olympiacos team, because it's only until recently when Olympiacos recently turned into big players in Europe. And if the Aggelopoulos brothers continue to trust Barzokas or continue to trust the same process, the same DNA, Olympiacos will be major players for many, many years to come. It's porn, basically. It's called porn, basically. Am I missing something?
Comment, me says, πώς είναι ρε μάγκες οι τσόντες στα αγγλικά, γουστάρω να σας ακούω και μην καταλαβαίνω γρή. Τσόντα means τσόντες porn in English. Yeah, porn. Thank you for the comment and thank you for subscribing. Να σε καλά, φιλαράκι. We understand Greek.
But maybe me just gave Protathletises their front cover for tomorrow morning.
If there are people like there are obviously people tuning in from Greece as well, guys. We speak, we understand Greek. If you want to throw comments into the chat in Greek, feel absolutely free.
Μιλάμε ελληνικά, μάγκες. Ό,τι θέλετε μας λέτε.
To football?
All right. Let's go to football.
What first? Where do we begin? With the start?
Revenge for Karaiskaki. How about that?
Yeah,
it is revenge.
We lost 4-2. We beat them and the best manager in Greece 4-1 today at Touba in their own house, and that's a better Paok team than the Paok team that won the double undefeated. But anyway, let's structure it a little bit here. I mean, shall we talk Mendilibar?
Let's start with that lineup. Let's start with that midfield.
Yeah. Yes.
How condensed was that today? In the first 15 minutes, I was afraid to say anything because I didn't want to jinx it. We were playing better than we had in any derby that we had this season so far. Any big game, I'll even say, to be honest with you. And I also have to say, I was kind of surprised that Paok was so measured to start the game. They were mid-block all the way, at least in the beginning of the game today. And that surprised me because I would have expected them to be full throttle, high press, going for the throat, because that's what they did in Karaiskaki against us in the first game. They came at us, and they seemed a little bit more measured, a little bit more timid today, and I don't understand that. But listen, good. I mean, good on Mendilibar. I mean, we weren't even like super possessive oriented today and dominating them. You guys realize that, right? It was something else. It was absolutely incredible. But oh my goodness,
Costa, you're having some trouble controlling yourself there.
Oh my God, I'm really sorry. This is a happy night. This is a happy night, though, isn't it, guys? It is a happy night.
It is.
Adi,
it is.
Please proceed, Adi. You're doing great. Not much possession. Yes, I get it. Yep, you're doing great, pal. You're doing great.
To Costa's point that he had made on the last show about just because you're direct doesn't mean you're defensive. Today was the point. We didn't possess not like I almost said Ataman, not like Tarim for Panathinaikos, where we're just moving the ball around senselessly. We move the ball very directly, and that was it. I don't even, to be honest with you guys, I don't think we completed more than 300 passes today, which is weird because in a game where you are possessing more than the opponent, like if you look at the games that we had under Diego Martinez, under Pedro Martins, I mean, we're moving the ball around over 400 or 500 times a match, and today was a lot less than that. Incredible. The directness was fantastic. The compactness in the midfield, I loved it. I loved every second of it, and I think Costa's point that he made in the last show was completely reinforced today with everything that we saw.
No, I think when I was thinking about today's game and trying to predict a lineup, I was pretty sure that we would see Heze today in the midfield. I think the guy's going to play 90 minutes, 3 games straight. I think he's an absolute mainstay in the team, and we really needed to find the right players to fit around him. And that midfield trio, like with Chiquinho and Horta, they're all players that understand what it means to play simple and effective. And I think that goes right into Mendilibar's philosophy, right? Like we kept hearing that from so many people about, how he views the games, like, do the simple things well. And when you try and overcomplicate it, that's when you start getting into trouble. And like those midfielders that we had today, they know how to control the ball well, play the ball forward, hold the ball sometimes so that they can create options for them. So you see Chiquinho, such a clever player. Like sometimes you think he might get stuck in possession, but he's waiting for players to make runs and create angles and spaces and different options for himself, so to open the game up. So I think that this is a formation that I think we're going to see more and more. Both of course domestically, but if we manage to progress in Europe as well, I think we'll see this more. So I think that is our best midfield. Like those three for me. And also, like, can I just say, Mendilibar bringing Iborra back into the fold.
Yeah.
For those 10, 15 minutes at the end of a game, even if it's garbage time, like you say in basketball, that's such a good sub at the end of the game. Just bringing on a body like that, that's big, experienced, and I think it speaks volumes to me about how he's managing the games. Like he did it so well in the game against Ferencvaros. It was his subs that changed the game in the second half. And then today as well, it's like he did all the right things for me. Bringing out Fortunis, putting Masuras on, taking Navarro off, putting El Kabi on, who's got 2 goals. Like his changes had an impact again on the game. You could say keeping Biancon on the pitch was risky today. You got a yellow very early on, but I thought Biancon had an excellent game actually.
Yeah,
I think he really is improving and starting to find confidence. And let's not forget, this guy's been out for so long, injured. I thought he was really rather solid, if not just outright solid, at the back next to Carmo. And Carmo, don't even get me started. I saw there was somebody that said we should start collecting money, fundraising.
Last show, somebody said that too.
Yeah, seriously, but it makes such a huge difference, having somebody like that at the back.
14 million.
First thoughts.
Well, really quickly, we have a comment from Dimitris K. I wonder if this is our patron, Dimitris K. Thank you so much for the donation, buddy. And his comment is, the winter transfer window has been our best transfer window in years. He's not wrong. This was a great window in terms of the player personnel that we picked up. Most of them, I'll say. especially Horta, Tsiquinho, Carmo. Those guys are Gelson Martins before he got injured. We knew that was the risk, but he showed that he had talent too. I mean, and can you imagine if we start picking up steam now and Martins comes back? Whoa.
Yeah.
Love that.
But I mean, I don't want to be the buzz killer here. I mean, two amazing results in Jose Luis Mendilibar's first two games. I was asking Costa before the show, and I'm asking you, Aris, or I'm asking the comment section, can we remember an Olympiacos manager in the club's history who came in at the club with three huge matches ahead of him, and he wins two of them, and rather decisively? Obviously, we have the Ferencváros game in Hungary, which brings me to my point. It's great that we're all happy. It's great that we're all, buzzing right now, but it's like a PR taught me. When it comes to Premier League managers, when they join the club and it's time for their post match press conference. Don't be too high on a win. Don't be too low on a loss. So, like I said, last season we were here after that AEK game when we ended their undefeated streak at Opapa Arena. I remember Costa was dancing to Drax's incredible theme. So was I before we went live. And there was a good reason. I mean, we felt it. We felt like, this is it. We're turning it around. Finally, we won a derby. Reminds you of something. So, yes, great night tonight, but we got a long ass way to go. We did make some really good signings, obviously. But now's the real deal right now. We're 5 points away from the top. I am not putting any money on this, but there's also the Court of Arbitration of Sports verdict expected before the playoffs. If we get that, which I don't think we are, but if we are, we're getting 4 points. So that's going to be 1 point away from the top. Don't get too excited about it, though, guys. Obviously, like I said, guys, I mean, I would never expect Jose Luis Mendilibar to do so well in these first two matches against such difficult opponents. But Panos Kostopoulos, check that interview, guys. He did tell us he's a fixer. He did tell us he's the kind of guy who can come in and at least come very close to turning it around almost immediately. You mentioned the way we played, Ari, and I'm not too shocked because I covered the Super Cup final in Athens between Sevilla and Manchester City at Karaiskaki. And I remembered how Sevilla managed to control tempo throughout the first half and most of the second half until Cole Palmer got his equalizer after Youssef Enesiri's opener. He's really good at controlling the tempo of the match, keeping the lines together, trying to neutralize his opponent's biggest dangers. I remember Erling Haaland was nowhere to be seen in this match. Incredible, absolutely incredible by Jose Luis Mendilibar. And I want to ask both of you guys, and I want to ask a comment section as well. Jose Luis Mendilibar, he is a strict manager. He is, at best, a democratic dictator, the kind of guy who comes in and says, okay, I'll hear you out, but at the end of the day, it's my way or the highway. He's the kind of guy who had a 1.5 hour training session explaining exactly the kind of tactics he wants. The tactician, he's old school. He doesn't put up with anything. Is Mendilibar the kind of manager that Olympiacos as a club, as an organization, as a DNA need from now on? Like we tried we tried the little magicians, we tried the future stars, we tried the experienced ones, but does Mendilibar represent the kind of manager that Olympiacos as a club need for years to come?
Even with let's say he salvages the season, right? Let's say he salvages the season. Let's say by some half a miracle, we come back, we do great in the playoffs, we win the title, right? Even if that were to happen, you do have to look at his history with what he's done at other clubs and look and think, is there risk going forward? Look what happened with Sevilla. Won Europa League with them, and then I think he won 2 games until through October. Those are all things that even if we shoot to the moon in terms of what we do this season, that we have to consider, because this is what's happened in previous situations with him as well. But in a way, I think I think because I think he's a great fit for us currently because he clearly knows he came in, did his homework. Maybe the simplicity of his managerial style, as we've discussed in the past, is what's working for him, right? You have a mess to clean up. He has players that were brought in by two different coaches, two different sporting directors, and maybe a more simplistic way of managing that is the better thing to get what you, because we have great individual talent. Like that's undeniable. You arguably, we still have some of the best, a roster with the best talent on it, period. Forget about whether the sum's greater than the whole or not. So maybe that's what you need. Maybe you need somebody that's a little bit more simpler in his tactics to get the best out of them. And it's not like, yet he is a very strict coach, but it's not like he holds tightly on everybody, right? Because we know that some positions have a little bit more leeway than others do. Look at the wings. The wings are where I've talked about also in the coaching analysis, where he gives a little bit more freedom to do things. Well, who was in those two spots? Fortounis and Podence. Those are the guys that we've all talked about, maybe don't track back as well, and they have a little bit more freedom to do things there. In that respect, I think for the time and for the situation that we have found ourselves in, it seems like he's the perfect fit here because he's not overcomplicating things, not overthinking things, keeping it pretty simple, all things considered. And maybe that's what we need. But is that what we will need over the summer? That's a question that we'll have to discuss more when we get there. But for now, with the mess that we have here, seems like he's the perfect guy to create order out of chaos.
But question, Aris. I mean, look at Daniel Podence tonight, right? He never even came close to playing like that under Carvalhal, probably not even under Diego Martinez. Whereas now it feels like he found a newfound confidence where he will run with the ball, he will dribble. And my God, the second goal, wonder goal of the season contender in Greece, this one. He did not do these things with Carvalhal when he played, obviously. I know he was ousted under Carvalhal. He did not do the same thing under Martinez. It does seem like Mendilibar is bringing something out of our best players.
I don't know if I would agree with the point about Martinez, because remember, up until right before that Volos match, Daniel Podence was having just not quite as absurd of production as Kostas Fortounis was, but his production was pretty absurd. He was also still running at defenders. He and Costa both were given freedom under Diego Martinez. Freedom to roam around, not under Carvajal though. Carvajal's system was this bastardized defensive Pedro Martins 2.0. I don't want to go into it because it's just giving me PMSD all over again. But but that's the thing. The players that we need to have the freedom with, they're the ones that you have to give freedom. I mean, we've talked about this before, right? There's a pragmatic approach versus the super defensive approach, right? You know who your best offensive assets are, like it or not, whether you like it or not, right? We all know the faults of both Podence and Fortounis, right? So you either have to just accept that and find the way to work around that, or you don't, and you just don't use them. Well, we tried the not using them, and we did worse. So that's it. That's it, Costa.
There are quite a few things that occur to me in all this discussion. The first is, what kind of football would we have seen if Diego Martinez had David Karma at the back and players like Chiquinho and Andre Horta in midfield? Because up until Imbom Juan, the incident with Imbom in the summer and he didn't play against Genk and he was out of the team, Madi Camara wasn't really there or thereabouts. I mean, he was at preseason, but we all thought, Madi's going to leave. He's probably not going to play. Then all of a sudden, Madi's a starter in the team, undisputed. But we all knew it was done. We all knew he's going to leave on a free at the end of the season. I think at least I did. But then you look at the impact that Chiquinho has had in the last few games, and you're just like, brilliant. It was worth it. It seems it's early, but it seems already from the impact he's had in the last against Offi today, that was worth paying a fee to bring him in over during the January transfer window. Otherwise, it was waiting until summer. But so that's a question I have, because this is important. Why? Because I think Martinez was a coach that was really focused on attack to a point that it unbalanced our team on the pitch, which is why it looked like we were playing a 4-2-4. And that's why we were so exposed. That's why we ate 4 goals against Paok at home. That's why we ate 5 against Frankfurt. He never found that balance. He never found that balance in the team. And then we went from a team that was disproportionately forward to a team that was disproportionately defensive, and a team that has nothing to do with Olympiacos. It's not in our DNA to be like that, to play more than one game with a left back as our left winger. Like Ernesto Valverde used to do that with Jolebas, but in moments during a game as a game management strategy, where he'd bring him on, or he'd bring on Marcano and play him left and then move Jolebas further up. So Carvajal was just wrong for this club. Judging from the scout report you did, Ari, and everything you said, it's just like he was brought in to try and fix the defensive issues, but then he went too defensive and forgot that you need to score goals.
Yep.
So now we're overwhelmed that we have a manager that's telling the players that you all have to attack together and you all have to defend together. And that's the comment that Navarro made at the end. At the end of like in post-match commentary, they asked him about the manager, like what's he brought to the team, and he's like you know, that's it. It's like we play as a team, we attack together, we all attack, we all defend. So simple. Like I don't know. I also don't know if this guy's going to be. Is he going to be here next season? Because he signed a 4-month contract. But I'm telling you now, like if you're if you're asking me now that I'm on this high, like all Olympiacos fans are on a high, everyone's like, sign him up now. You know, maybe, and to Costa's point, maybe Olympiacos doesn't need like the fancy young tactician with ambition. I've said this before, like Olympiacos needs like a proper man manager, like somebody with a bit of experience, somebody that knows when to shout at the players, when to put his arm around them, somebody that's been in the game for a while, like to manage the squad properly, to understand when it's the right time to bring Iborra on, when it's the right time to bring Jovetic on, like he, you know,
to my dismay.
It's like, mate, when's the last time? It feels like it's been a long time since we had a manager that could actually manage and like manage a game so well. So you know, you ask me now if you ask me now if I'm pro extending Mendilibar's contract going into next season, I'm 100% yes right now.
I'm see. Here's the thing. I was thinking the other day when Mendilibar joined, I was thinking to myself, what realistically, right? What constitutes a successful stint for Mendilibar at Olympiacos? And I came up with the following, realistically, again speaking. If Mendilibar makes it at least to the last 16 of the conference, and remember, we're Olympiacos here, right? We're Olympiacos. And if he remains undefeated in all of the upcoming derbies and wins pretty much half of them, in my opinion, Vangelis Marinakis needs to get on his hands and knees and give him whatever the hell he wants. Doesn't matter if we win the league or not. Doesn't matter if we finish 4th.
Costa, do you think that Mendilibar is likely to go back? Well, do you think Mendilibar can find a team in Spain that will offer him not only the opportunity to play in Europe, like not let alone fight for a championship? Okay, it's the Greek championship, whatever. But if he goes back to Spain Is he going to go back to like an Atletico, Barcelona? Forget about it. Like they're
No,
looking for a manager,
no.
but forget about it. Like, what's he? No disrespect, but who's he going to go and manage?
Well,
That
here
would be better than us.
you make an excellent point here, because Panos told me that the only reason Mendilibar is at Olympiacos is because of the conference. He didn't come in because he wanted to stick it to Paok and Panathinaikos, who won't let us, take the night off because of Ferencvaros and the referees, take that a la Fusos. He's here for Europe at Olympiacos. And I don't right now from the top of my head. Obviously, there's going to be Spanish teams in the Europa League. Obviously, there's going to be Spanish teams in the conference. From the top of my head, I cannot answer this question. But according to my sources, which I trust in this case a lot, I always trust them. But I really insist on that here. He's here until the end of the season. And I had a long thing, and I want to hear your opinion on this as well, because I want to hear you and to tell me what constitutes a successful stint, because the guy's only here for 4 months. If he does that, if he manages to get us to the last 16 of the conference minimum and remains undefeated in the derbies, go for it. You tell me now, realistically speaking, though, what constitutes a successful stint for Mendilibar?
Sorry, Ari, I'm going to be super quick.
Go for it.
The first thing for me is that we start to look like Olympiacos again.
Fair enough. Very good.
That's kind of where I was going as well. But if we're talking results based, right? There's a couple of things. So first, I would say, look, if he gets us to round of 16 conference, I think that in itself is a success, personally. Technically, I would like to see a real success would be, because in the modern era, we've never gotten past the round of 16 in any format, whether it's Europa League or Champions League. So if for us to go beyond round of 16, that would be really impressive. But that's the first thing. Second thing, it's not just about these early wins. It's about how he will adapt when we get to the playoffs and our rivals are beginning to adapt to him. That is where we will really see what he's made of, because we've talked about it. His scheme won't change. The personnel choices will. Mm-hmm. So how will he adapt? Because right now he's, it's new. The opponents, Lucescu, our rivals, when we come up, in the beginning, it's going to be some shell shock, right? They're expecting a certain Olympiacos, and now we're a different animal. But it's not going to be the same when we play them again. They will learn from this. These aren't stupid managers anymore. This isn't the managers of Pedro Martins in the first couple of seasons. The top clubs, whether we like it or not, have better coaches. They're smarter. They're obnoxious. Some of them are dumbasses in that respect, but they're smarter and they adapt better. So that's what I want to see. A success, Costa, if he still achieves that same result, we see the adaptation happening and we're still getting these results, then if he does what he came here to do, you have to offer him that contract because he earned it in that respect. The worries I pointed out earlier in the show regarding what's happened at other clubs, those are just risks you have to deal with and you have to take into consideration. But if he does all of that, a success isn't, by the way, for me, the success isn't win the league, get past round of 16. A success for him is get to the round of 16 and get top 3, considering the situation he found us in, right? Get Europe, make a decent showing in the Conference League, and that, guys, is the success. Because that didn't seem like it was attainable before he got here. So that is success for me. More than that is beyond impressive. And more than that, winning the title, going further. Let's say we can do semifinals in Conference League or better. It's a miracle. That's it.
Well, can I ask you though? I mean, you both said it tonight, and you made excellent points about it. Mendilibar, obviously, he is a very good manager, but the personnel, was always there. We always had good players. So do you guys feel like there's a great shame that a lot of points were wasted, a lot of opportunities were wasted? I was just thinking on my way back home, I went to cafeteria to watch both games. On my way home, I was thinking, this Olympiacos that I saw tonight and against Ferencvaros, this Olympiacos would have never been eliminated against Panathinaikos in the cup. Never. Never. So I feel like there is a lost opportunity there. Do you guys feel like Olympiacos have? I mean, we've been way too hard on Carvalhal on this podcast, but if the Carvalhal thing never happened, let's say, or let's say Mendilibar started this season, or whatever, let's say this Olympiacos tonight that we saw was the Olympiacos that we had all season. Do you feel like they have underachieved? There was a waste in there, a lot. It wasn't just the manager that we needed. What do you think?
He needs somebody to inspire them to play, man. And the previous manager, like, clearly didn't do that. I mean, we know for a fact that he'd been in a bust up with more than three or four players, not just Podence. Madi was mentioned to us, a couple of others, like even Fortunis, I think. Ari, I can't remember who the others were, but like he came in and he lost control of the dressing room pretty quick.
Yeah, no, you're right. That was everything that we had heard. And
we didn't have Carmo, did we? Did we have Carmo already for the cup?
He didn't play.
No.
Didn't he? Did he play with Doi already in the cup game, like with Bao away? I could be wrong, but
I don't.
Anyway, it doesn't matter, man. Fuck the cup. Like, there are going to be 500 people that go and watch it, like students and kids. Like, Apple can't even organize a bloody cup game.
But can I ask you? I agree with you, Costa. But can I ask you guys? Do you think that the Olympiacos we saw tonight would have been eliminated by Paok? I don't think that.
No,
by Panathinaikos.
The Olympiacos
eliminated
tonight.
By Paok or Panathinaikos?
Panathinaikos. Sorry.
No. Are you kidding me?
No way.
The reason the loss against Panathinaikos in the cup was, like, even in penalties, was so frustrating was because of how bad they were. They were not special. That Panathinaikos team we played in the cup was not good. But yet we were that much worse, which made it even more frustrating. That's how I saw it. And I know some Panathinaikos fans got bent out of shape about it. That's too damn bad. You guys sucked. But we sucked worse. That's the truth. Like, we were stinkier garbage. That's just the fact of the matter.
No, I agree. This Olympiacos that we saw tonight, it can do great things. Even in Europe, guys. I mean, even in the last 16, if we make it, I mean, God damn it, I'm going too high right now. Very difficult match in Hungary. If we manage to get through it, even the opponents that we have in the last 16, I feel like they're manageable for this Olympiacos I'm talking about, of course.
The teams that we would face in the last 16 are pretty good, man. But they're good teams. Like, they're solid teams.
I said manageable. Not
manageable. They're good. They're good. There's no easy draw for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like, they're not. They're teams that we should be beating. I saw Club Bruges as a potential opponent in the last 16 actually as well. I'd quite fancy that. I'd quite fancy that one for selfish reasons. Being in Belgium.
Yeah. I was about to say. I was about to say.
Guys, we're about an hour in. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Over 800 of you have already come in and out of the show today. So take a quick second, hit that like button. If you like what you hear, if you like the content that you see, give us that follow, hit the bell. There's a lot of great stuff coming. Not to mention, of course, merch, if you haven't seen it already. Gates International merch from Adidas, as well as a lot of other things, are coming. Super excited for that. And we would also like to welcome another new patron. So thank you again to all of our Patreon members. And we would like to welcome Olympiacos. Thank you for joining the Patreon community. And if you want to join the WhatsApp or get extra episodes that we offer through the Patreon channel, we do fun interviews with people outside of the realm of Olympiacos, but sometimes intermingle or have some work with Olympiacos. We recently interviewed Doran Leidner's agent. That was pretty fun. We interviewed Despina Panagoulias, the daughter of the legendary coach Panagoulias for the national team. That was a fun interview as well. And we've got more fun interviews scheduled. So check that out. You can support us on Patreon. And you can also get yourself some extra content or just enjoy the WhatsApp group where we make fun of Lambro for drinking weird things. So
it's not weird.
back to
I
what we're
love
talking
Freddo Cappuccino. I love Freddo Cappuccino.
You're gonna-
I will. I will die on that hill happily every day of the year.
Ari, you're gonna get the chat wound up, man. Like I bet there's a lot of Freddo Cappuccino drinkers in the chat. Like Ari has this thing against Freddo Cappuccino. It's like anything.
It's not
that's
just
got
me.
milk-
Martial started it. I just jumped on board with it. Martial started it. I just jumped. And we did the poll in the Patreon group. Only two people.
Ari, wait. This is important. This is critical. What would be more valuable than asking who tonight's man of the match is? Because I know that we have a poll ongoing, and Daniel Pedenza is just completely destroying it. So,
Of course.
I motion that you change the question of today's poll into Freddo Cappuccino or Freddo Espresso in the chat right now. And everybody that passes through on the live, you vote. I want to know.
It's coming in right now.
What's your drink? Let's get that going. Oh, right on cue. Thank you, Yorgos Murdzanos. We've got a list here of the potential teams that we would play in the round of 16 if we beat Ferencvaros on Thursday. Fenerbahce, Fiorentina, Aston Villa, Club Brugge, Victoria Plitzen, Maccabi Tel Aviv, and Lille. Oh, Lille's close as well. I don't fancy that one though. So those are the teams that we could face.
If you don't get Aston Villa, then yeah, I agree with him. Like their manager, none of them are easy, guys. They're manageable. Personally, I would like Maccabi Tel Aviv to finally be the Greek team that to finally end that Israeli curse at Olympiacos. I do want to bring something up. I'm just going to make one comment on this, and I'm leaving it there. When we suck, there are also referees against us, as Hussein Güzel. I think we're going to have referee drama in the playoffs, especially against AEK.
But we had today. We had today again.
It didn't cost us though this time.
It didn't cost us. But
so we agree that was a foul on Rodine, yes?
Yeah, there was a handball as well.
Yep.
There was a handball afterwards in the box.
Yeah, we're going to see. There's going to be referee drama against AEK, definitely, and probably against Panathinaikos, my opinion.
Aris Galamatis, my man. That's it.
Sugar and milk. What was it? Nesfrappe with plastic straw.
Said sugar and milk makes you soft like our coaches from the past 3 years. There we go. There we go. Oh, guys, see, look, I'm telling you. Look at how strong things are going. Freddo Espresso is just cleaning up already. Look at it. Look, I'm telling you guys. If you I don't have anything against people that drink their coffee with milk and sugar. Like my wife doesn't even drink coffee. I make fun of her for that too. But there's no difference in coffee. Whether it's Freddo, whether it's frappe, it doesn't matter. If you put milk and sugar in it, then you're just drinking milk and sugar. That's it. There's no taste. You're the same thing over and over. If you want the real taste of coffee, the real coffee experience, you drink black. No sugar, nothing.
I start my day
also the healthiest for you. Just saying.
I start my day with an espresso lungo. That's how I start my day, always. I get an espresso lungo. I got an espresso machine. I do my espresso lungo. It's a double though. I'll be honest with you guys, and that's it. That's me for the day.
Ari Galamati, don't start discussion about tea. don't do it. Don't do it, my friend. If you don't,
he is.
If you don't put the tea in for exactly the right time at the right temperature, don't get me started about tea, my friends. Proszę.
Guys, can I say a quick story? Really quick story. I once stayed over at a girl's place. A girl I was dating.
You stayed with a girl?
Yeah, unbelievable, right? Absolutely unbelievable. Olympiacos beat Paok 4-1, and I stayed over at a girl's. Anyway, the next morning, I asked her, "Is there any coffee?" And she said yes. And I was like, "Cool. Where's the kettle?" And she was like, "Oh, it's fine. Just make it on some tap water and put it in the microwave." And I was like, bye bye, see ya.
Was she British? God.
No, I don't want to say the nationality because I'm afraid I'm giving away too much. But she actually told me to cook my coffee in the microwave, and I was like, okay, bye bye.
That's some university stuff there. College dorm.
See, Vasily Aramatidis, knows Lambro's day. He starts with highlights and his Freddo cappuccino.
We're starting with Ramon now. We got the cappuccino, we got the espresso. Now we got tea. Now we're getting Ramon again. You bastards! You bastards! No, she wasn't Greek, Hussein.
So there's nobody here that voted for Freddo cappuccino with sugar.
I have my Freddo cappuccino. How do you say it in English? Costa metrio, medium.
So
Medium sugar. Oh,
Yeah, medium sugar. Yeah, that's how I have mine.
Yeah.
I haven't had one in ages.
Mavri zahari.
Yeah, that's healthier, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Listen,
That's what they say.
Freddo espresso mia mavri.
I just want the most bitter tasting thing that I can find. I will go, even if it's available to me, I always drink espresso. But you don't always get espresso everywhere you go here in the States. I will go to these random places, and it is questionable drip coffee, probably tar. That's it. I want the most bitter thing that I can have.
I'm gonna ask you this question, and I need a yes or no answer because I'm opening a new can of worms here. Ari, do you like sweet cocktails or bitter cocktails?
What's a sweet cocktail? What's that? What counts?
Pina colada, for example, is a
Absolutely
sweet
not.
cocktail. Okay, what's your favorite cocktail? Give me your favorite cocktail.
My favorite, old fashioned. I love bourbon. I love whiskey.
There you go.
I love old fashioned. That's my drink. But there's like a lot of these new places. They do like these old fashions that they throw all this like honey. No. A real old fashioned is very, very, very little sugar. You put the orange in there, but you get the body of the bourbon. Thank you, our boys from Red Point Guard. Yes, love you guys. Incredible content. Go follow them, Red Point Guard. I don't know basketball. I watch their stuff. I listen to their stuff. I read their stuff because they teach me a lot. So, but yeah, no.
Red Emerald, is that you? Is that you? If that's you, let me know. I want you on the show if you can come for 5 minutes. I know you don't like to use your camera, or maybe you do now. But if that's you, let us know. I want you on the show.
Absolutely.
My good friend.
Come on over to the show. And yes, I was about to touch on Stefanos' comment. For those just joining us, yes, this is an Olympiacos podcast. I do have a question for the panel and for the comment section. All of my questions are for the panel and the comment section. Let's say Olympiacos get eliminated from Ferencvaros on Thursday. What kind of impact does that have?
That's the nature.
Honestly,
that's the
because
nature
we are a
of
bit
Olympiacos,
high right now.
man.
We are a bit high right now. So let's say Ferencvaros eliminate Olympiacos, which could happen. Could definitely happen. What kind of impact are we talking here?
Shall I go first?
Yeah.
Anyone.
I think it clearly dampens the mood. Yeah, we're on a massive high right now, and it will bring us back down a bit. But then, in terms of the club's priorities, they'll just kick on and say, "All right, we'll do everything we can to make it difficult for the others in the league." And let's not forget, we have this CAS decision pending from the Court of Arbitration of Sport. We can get a point back at least, but maybe I'm overdoing it, but I think tonight one of the things that we've said in the loudest way possible to all the league is that we're here, and we're not out. We're not out, and I think we're going to be very, very competitive in the playoffs. I think right now, I feel like it's not a insurmountable task. I think you look at the fixtures that we have until the end of the season, and sorry, I'm just gonna try and bring this up now. We play Asteras at home. We play Panathinaikos at home as well. I think maybe let me get this right. So we've got Asteras at home, Panathinaikos away, Volos at home. 3 games that we should be winning.
Right.
We all agree?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, we all agree. Those are 3 games that we should be winning. And we are 5 points from top.
Yeah.
Let's say maybe 4 if we get the points back. AEK
One if we get the point back. If
No, we
the
get
points
1
back,
point
it's
back.
one.
We're not going to get the 3 back. It'll
We get
probably
1.
only just be the 1.
We don't know that.
Well, unless because then they would have to make us replay that game.
Right. We don't know what will happen, but let's say best case scenario, we get a point back.
Right.
AEK play Lamia. That's not going to be an easy game.
As you could tell earlier, what was it, yesterday?
Lamia
Yeah.
6th. Lamia 6th in the league.
Yeah.
And look what they did yesterday. So they play Lamia away, and then they play Baziana they should beat. Then they play Aris. They go to Aris away. So they got 2 tough fixtures before we get to the playoffs.
Oh, wait, you
Paok.
said I goes to Lamia away on that
Yeah.
Horafi. Oh,
They
God,
play
that feels
Lamia
so
away
tough.
and they play Aris away on the last of the regular season. Paok have to play Panathinaikos in the cup on the during the week. Then they go to Panathinaikos, they go to Ceres, and they play Lamia away. So they got a tough game at Lamia at the end. And Panathinaikos, Vazelos has Kifisia at home, Aris at home, and Ofi away.
Aris.
So Aris is in the mix there for all the top teams, basically, and Lamia. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight going into the playoffs, man. So it really is like 4-horse race. Anything can happen until the end of the season. And believe me, like everything that I've seen in the last 2-3 games since Carvajal left is a team that's looking more and more confident and more comfortable with each other after every game. And it can only get better. Like it can only get better. Let's see what happens on Thursday. Like honestly, like I don't think even the most optimistic Olympiacos fan would have thought before, like with Mendilibar coming in, that we could win 3 games on the trot. That would be really something. That would be really something. And we don't have to win on Thursday. And we don't have to win on Thursday. We can get a draw too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think for me, it probably wouldn't be so much losing that would hurt. It would more be how the club reacts from the loss. I think obviously it would suck to lose, right? Because here we are, like we were just such a down low. Like I was expecting a loss, wasn't expecting to win the league. I was expecting like 4th place, probably not have Europe. But now it's like we've had 3 good games, like not just wins, good games. Maybe they didn't always start off great, but they ended great. And now like this would really be a gut punch to like start to feel good for that to happen. But what would make it feel worse is if we lose to Ferencvaros and then the club doesn't all of a sudden they start acting erratically again. That would be worse for me. But if they're just going to stay the course, say, look, guys, whatever, we're out, but now we're focusing on the league. We have a rebuild to focus on. We're going to do what we can here. Then, you know what I mean? Then I'd just be back to normal. But it would be a kind of a gut punch, like to all of a sudden have this lift. You know what I mean? The wind is back in your sails after you've been isolated on the ocean with no direction, no wind to help you go anywhere. And now all of a sudden you're flying. Just for it to die again would suck. That would be a gut punch for me.
It is, though. I mean, I was talking to a source, and one thing they told me that they didn't understand, it was around the time when Diego Martinez was getting the boot. One thing they didn't understand is how is it that Olympiacos looks set to stay in Europe. It was before that Batskatopola game. And nobody's talking about back then Jovanovic. Nobody's talking about Almeida, the fact that they missed out or that they crashed out of Europe. So now the way that I see it is Olympiacos got the win back in their sails. They got revenge from Paok, because losing to Paok this way for Olympiacos, sorry, I guess, but Paok will never be as big a club as Olympiacos, and Olympiacos got their big revenge. There's an extra there's extra motivation for Olympiacos to make it to the last 16 in order to do as well as Paok. So Paok don't come out and say, "Oh, we're the presvis, we're the ambassadors." Whereas all of you, where you want to go there as well and prove to them that we're still the ambassadors from Greece, and maybe even make it to the quarterfinals. Obviously, long road ahead. But obviously, what I'm trying to say with the first part of my thinking is that despite our many problems this season, and there are many problems, we're still in Europe, and we're still quite strong in Europe. Still, it's quite makes you kind of think. Maybe it goes back to the fact that there's always been personnel in this team, and we kind of just let ourselves down, like we did with Batska away, like we did with Freiburg at home, like later on we did with Panathinaikos at the Cup. There's something there. There is something there. Shall we move to man of the match?
I want to give a shout
Maybe
out to Nick
comments?
I want to give a shout out to Nick Hemphill.
Always
Nottingham
great guy.
Forest fan that's in here always, all the time, interacts with us. Thanks, mate. Special shout out for you. Actually, I have a question for Nick. Do you think if you get the -10, do you still think you can stay up? That's the question for all Forest fans, isn't it?
Well, Nick, I do want to hear Nick's response to this, but the fact is that teams like Nottingham Forest, teams like Everton, teams like Crystal Palace, obviously they're going to have a new manager who, well, will take a while till he's announced, because I don't feel like going into detail on this, to be honest. They're all very lucky because Luton, Sheffield United, and Burnley are so weak this season. So that's even if they do get done by the PCR, I think that's what's going to save them. Or at least that's their best hope. I mean, Nottingham Forest picked up a huge win over West Ham. They proved they can get big wins as well as they did with Newcastle. So I think all things considered, they can still pull it off.
Let's see. Oh, this is another interesting comment. Connoisseur RPG says, guys, at some point you should discuss the influence of Javier Irureta to Olympiacos coach Valverde and Mendilibar. I'm actually unaware of that.
That's a very this is a very interesting case. I stumbled a little bit on this rabbit hole when I was doing my research on Mendilibar and when I was watching tape and trying to learn like where he came from. It's very interesting because I mean, I don't know how much a lot of people carry about it, but Irureta was one of the first, because he was also a Basque Spanish coach as well, if I remember correctly. And he was really one of the first. So he was like a big 4-2-3-1 guy, but he was really one of the first Spanish coaches to be really all about like optimizing lateral passes and moving the ball around constantly, like possessing the ball. Possession offense is the best defense because the more you have the ball, the less they don't. High press, overlapping fullbacks. He was very much into that. You know what? That would be a really cool segment for us to do. Maybe
those of you that are a little bit older, or at least close to our age, may remember the Deportivo team, La Coruña team that won the league in 2000, and I think they got to the semi-finals of the Champions League after a quarter-final.
How they didn't win that Champions League? How they didn't win the Champions League?
Like Diego Tristan up front.
Yep.
They had that Brazilian Mauro Silva in midfield.
Yeah. Fran,
Amavilla,
Molina. They had Capdevilla.
They had like a Joe. Was it Jominho?
Jalminha, yeah.
Jalminha was there as well. Naibet, amazing team, crazy team. Yeah. Who's the other guy? That Spanish guy, Valeron. Oh,
Valeron,
the guy that killed us with that Bermudez and Eleftheropoulos cock up.
Yeah.
Well, sorry guys. Me and my mouth.
Anyway, that's I could put a video together on that. That would be fun, actually. I got a lot of stuff I have to do first, but that would be a fun one to do.
Do you guys have any negatives tonight? Like, I've been super positive. Like, are there any negatives from the football tonight?
Yeah, one. Well, at least one I can think of. I was very concerned with not overall, but there were some very specific instances where Ortega worried me today. Not because I had issues with his positional choices, because I saw there were people complaining about him marking a central player, and that wasn't the problem. The problem wasn't him marking the open man that was more central. Like in the goal that Costa, or not Costa, that is the goal that Despodov had when he went center when the ball was serviced, and he had the bad clearance to Despodov. Him going inside was not the problem. The problem was the stupid clearance. And then there was a second one where Thomas Murg, I think it was, skied the opportunity when it was a wide open goal. And he jumped. So he was on the guy that was in the center, and he like made this weird jump and then falls and leaves Thomas Murg to just have like a wide open shot that he skies. It was either Murg or Brandon. I'm pretty sure it was Murg. Anyway, those are the problems, not the decision to mark the open man in the center because he's supposed to do that. But the problem is you have to be a lot smarter when you know you have an open man behind you when you're challenging for something or doing something than that. That is the problem with him, that I had, at least. I don't think it was that he made the wrong decision to go inside and cover the man that was open centrally. You also could put blame on who's supposed to be back there covering him and who's supposed to be back there on that guy. But either way, in that respect, I thought Ortega had a great game against Ferencváros. I thought he played well there. And then today, I liked him, how he got forward. If you guys saw in the first half, most of our attacks went through that left side. And he was involved in getting forward for those. But he had a couple of very questionable situations today with the Despodov goal, and then what I thought was Murg on that other shot. But anyway,
It was Despodov.
It was Despodov on the second shot too. Okay,
Yeah, but
I
mate,
misremembered that.
it wasn't a clearance.
It was I don't
It
know what
wasn't
that
a
was.
clearance. You know, he does that thing where like he's always like he's very one-footed. Yeah.
Yes,
So he
very.
likes to turn on the ball. So the thing he does when he's facing the goal and he's trying to get away from the defender, he's actually knocking the ball to his right out to the left because he's unaware that Despodov's there. So he opens the ball up, turns his body, and then Despodov's there, and he doesn't like fall and like try and block the ball. It's too late. Like Despodov's there, and he just slides it into the corner. That to me, you know, if he'd cleared it, would have been better. But he's tried to control it and get out of trouble, play his way out of trouble in his own box.
May I bring something out about the Argentinian players that we have, especially Eze and Ortega? Doesn't the Argentinian league end in December, which is when the players' contracts end?
They just started again, didn't they?
The South America.
Yeah. They just started. Yeah,
because Olympiacos got Eze and Ortega in the summer, and in a way, like those two, they are undergoing a full 1.5 season already. So, which is very interesting because they must be knackered by now. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they do next season, provided that they stay at Olympiacos, which I guess they will. It's interesting to see how they're going to do with a bit of rest and some preseason, because right now they're on, like I said, 1.5 season running. And I mean, Paschalakis as well, he renewed for another 2 years. Absolutely composed performance in goal again. Didn't care about the boo boys. He said it before as well. He doesn't let that get through him. There was that incident with Brandon Thomas before a Paok corner where Brandon just tried to manhandle his much bigger opponent, and Paschalakis didn't even flinch at all. Brandon was screaming, was shouting and screaming. Paschalakis wouldn't even give him the time of day. Brandon got booked as well. Huge that Olympiacos will have this amazing player for another 2 years. A leader, in my opinion, someone to look up to, understands what Olympiacos is all about, and hopefully that's going to create a domino effect with the other Greeks that we have that are running out of contracts, such as Masouras, Fortounis, Zolakis, and Vrusai. My opinion, Zolakis and Vrusai really need to stay at Olympiacos, my opinion.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, you know what I was thinking also, especially when your team is playing well and people kind of believe and the players believe in what's happening, they're going to be more likely to want to renew with you. Like when it's a dumpster fire, nothing's going well, maybe it's toxic in the back room. Who wants to renew to that? Who wants to say I'm staying here a couple more years to deal with this nonsense? But if you have if you're playing well, I mean, I don't want to say winning changes everything, but you're playing well, things are feeling better, you will feel better about renewing with the club. You'll feel better about being around for everything. So maybe that'll be with the case with some of these players we haven't renewed yet. Maybe they will if we get a couple more results. Let's say we beat Ferencvaros. Maybe they'll say, okay, we're building something again. Maybe they want to stay. Who knows?
Yeah, but the reality is we're going to be, as it stands, we're going to be without a manager again in May, as it stands. So what exactly are we building?
Well, look, that's why the club, I mean, and I don't know what's going on in the back office. I hope that they're already getting, making the talks, getting people in order, and having at least have an idea of who they could reach out to if Mendilibar doesn't renew. Because if they're not getting prepared for that, that'll be a disaster again.
Did anybody else notice today? Like, I don't think Fortounis had a great game today, but I saw a level of pressing and intensity from him that I'm not used to.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I'm the only one. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. He also got the assist on that Podense wonder goal. He gave the ball to Podense. Hey!
Start to the free kick.
Hey! Still an assist.
Take everything you can.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. No, but the reality is, though, guys, like if Fortounis leaves, which I don't think he is, but let's say he does leave, somebody else will have to come up with all those goals and the assists. Because when Fortounis was blackballed by Pedro Martins, nobody stepped up. And we saw that after Fortounis finally returned to the team under Mitzel, the huge difference. But then again, I don't know, like, I hate making those comparisons, but hear me out. People were getting on Arsenal's case that they didn't have a center forward. And now they're just dropping goals left and right. They're just killing opponents. They're making the away fans, away/home fan, the opposing fans walk away before the final whistle. They're sharing the goals between them. So if Fortounis leaves, if Olympiacos cannot find their new big contributor, they're going to need to find a way to get their players as a team, as a unit, to share that load, to share that weight.
Can I offer something else, by the way, about Costa? Okay, so maybe he didn't. He actually did have a lot of crosses today, and he helped us get the ball forward a lot today. Sure, maybe he wasn't creating a lot of wizardry that we are used to seeing, a lot of magic, but he had the most dual wins today as a player, like for himself, than he's had in any game this season before.
I believe that.
So incredible.
So like in a lot of those cases, like with Costa, because maybe he doesn't normally do that type of work, maybe when he does that and he's not doing the offensive work we expect from him, we then say like, okay, he's not having a great game. Just some food for thought. That's all.
I wasn't shitting on him, just to be clear.
No, I know. That was just like my little, I don't think anybody in the chat, usually chat doesn't poop on Fortounis. This is Costa's he's like the love of the club.
Yeah, I don't think he's leaving. He had many opportunities to leave, especially in 2019. West Ham really wanted him. Opportunity of a lifetime. He didn't take it up.
Well, real quick, I guess, before we do our man of the match coaches grade, don't forget, guys, again, we're an hour and a half in. I think, if I'm not mistaken, over 1,000 people have tuned in already. Incredible stuff over the course of the show. A lot of great things going on here. Like and subscribe. One little quick action that costs you nothing and takes you 1 second to do helps us find more people and grow this amazing community. If you like what you see, hit the bell. You can always be reminded when we're going live or when new content comes out. Join the Patreon channel as well if you want to support us. Get extra content. Join the WhatsApp group. Don't worry, I see the poll. I get it. You guys agree with me. Freddo Espresso is the only way to go. I get it. I promise you, in the WhatsApp chat, there are more of us than the Lambros that love their Freddo cappuccinos. I promise you. So join the Patreon chat. We are welcoming all of you. This look at this. Look at this table, guys. Look at this poll. The poll is 52% Freddo Espresso. 52%.
Wow.
18
You're like the Brexit vote. You're like the Brexit vote. My God, that is so dominant. My God, what a landslide.
18% is Freddo Espresso with sugar. 26% Freddo Cappuccino. And we have a 5% that milk isn't enough. They have to have sugar and milk with their espresso. That option had the fail button next to it, and they still picked it. It's amazing. But join the Patreon group. There's a lot of espresso drinkers. Black, how it was supposed to be drank.
You know what, Ari, I'm labro and proud. There. Labro and proud.
Fucking hell.
Holy shit! Did Cuyas make a statement?
Did he?
Oh, I'm too tired. No, I'm too tired.
No, I'm not reading that statement.
Too tired. Don't
ruin
and I
the
don't
night.
care. And I also don't care.
Man of the match, coach's grade. About that time.
What about
A
guys?
lineup.
Thursday.
Oh, lineup.
Quick lineup. Who wants to start? 49% now, Ari.
Who did it? Did you vote?
Hemphill.
And you didn't
I
vote
voted.
before?
I
have to
voted.
vote now. You know, I have to vote now too.
Who starts at centre back on Thursday?
Well, not Biancon. So I guess we're probably gonna have Doi or Retsos. But Retsos came back on, so I guess maybe that's a little teaser. We're finally gonna get Carmo and Retsos, which I'm personally looking forward to a lot.
Do you do that in a game like Thursday?
Why not?
Carmo's never played with Retsos. He's played with Doi twice.
Really good. They've trained together though.
I'm with Costa. See, in a way, normally I would think that the de facto starter for me would be Retros with Carmo.
Yeah,
but I don't like messing with things that are working as it is now. Doi Carmo looked good. If we're gonna stick with that, let's stick with that. You know
he
what
wasn't
I mean?
in the squad today. Doi wasn't in the squad.
Was he hurt?
Not
because he was on the bench,
reported.
right?
It wasn't reported. Like he wasn't in the squad. Did he travel? I'm not sure.
There's been an intense. People have been saying that Mendilibar was rotating, so which is why I expressed my concern about Joao Carvalho back in midfield.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he starts because our three midfielders played a lot, or two of them played a full 90 basically, and Horta played. He was the first of the midfield subbed, and he was subbed out at what, 75th minute, 72nd minute.
Like there's no way Heze doesn't start the game.
I mean, Heze has to start the game, and the guy is going to we're gonna run him into the ground like we did Oleg. So
I think the only changes from tonight's lineup will obviously be Biancon. So I think I agree with Costa's with my namesake. Doi, if Doi is well, he's going to replace Biancon, who's not eligible, or else it's going to be Retsos, and then El Kabi will replace Navarro. Navarro is also ineligible, isn't he?
He's ineligible. Yeah, we didn't put him on the list. It was just Carmo, Chiquinho,
El
Horta.
Kabi. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's going to be El Kabi up front.
It'll have to be.
Yeah.
Huge shout out real quick to Alexander Katopis. I'm a big fan and listener. Bet $50 on Olympiacos on DraftKings, and I'm splitting the winnings with you guys. Alex, that's awesome, man. We really appreciate it. I mean,
Thank you so
guys,
much.
Thanks, pal. Thanks, man.
the donations go to literally us just building more of the show. We do whatever we can to get access to whatever software, whatever things we can to make it a better experience for all of you. There's more stuff coming, more fun things coming. We're always leveling up here, and we're not stopping. So thank you so much for the contribution. Know that it's not going to waste.
That is an incredibly generous donation.
Thanks, Alexander.
so
Don't
much.
spend it all don't spend it all at once. Congratulations, brother.
Okay, and congrats on winning your bet. You know what? God, I haven't done the bet cards. We technically are still sponsored, and I haven't done the bet cards. I just haven't had time. I need to start that back up again. I won money during the World Cup. I was positive.
You can still go and bet US. We have a lot of followers, listeners from the US.
We do. We still have betus.com.pa. The promo code's GATE7INTL in all caps. You get 125% deposit boost on your first deposit. They accept crypto and credit cards. So
there you go.
There you go. So, man of the match?
Podence.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. Yeah. Podence, and like 90% of the chat, or when the poll was up, it was almost 90% was Podence. So that was easy. Coach's grade, A+.
A. Being serious. I was B+ last time.
Costa K, I said A+.
Before the game, I thought that, like I said, like there were a lot of people saying Mendilibar was rotating, and I was thinking to myself, hey, the Greek league is not completely over. We can still do it. If we lose, we're 10 points behind and it's over. So I was a bit wary of the El Kabi thing, but then Navarro scored the goal. So screw it. A+. Keep up the good work. Hopefully we're not going to see anything crazy with Ferencvaros, because Olympiacos have a huge opportunity right here. First time in our history we're in this competition. It's one thing to leave saying, oh, we made the last 32. It's completely different saying we made it to the last 16. Opportunity of a lifetime. Let's not screw it up.
There you go. Anybody have anything to add, or should we wrap this bad boy up? Merch, don't forget. God, I always forget my lefts and rights. Right here, Gate 7 International merch, Adidas. We're going to have a full set of Adidas stuff on the online store. A lot of fun stuff coming. A lot of really fun. I hope you guys like it. There should be a little bit of stuff for everyone. Shipping, we have international shipping as well. So if you are overseas, if you're not based in the United States, don't worry. Everything can be drop shipped to you. And there's more stuff coming to the shop over the course of the next couple months. We applied for brand collaborations with a couple of other things. So hopefully, guys, we'll have even more to offer you. We're really excited about this. And when the shop does go live, we're going to ask this multiple times. If you get something and you wear it, please post it, put it on social media. We will share it. Just it's an honor that anybody would want us to be represented and wear something that comes from us. So we would like to recognize you for that if you do it. So please, any image you take, we'll share on socials. We love all the support we get from you guys. We really appreciate it. I still can't believe sometimes things have gotten as big as they are.
I told you, Ari. I told you.
It's if you guys hadn't heard the story already, I almost never did this. Lambro and Peter kind of had to like pull me and drag me along to do this. I didn't think it was something that anybody would ever want to listen to. So just seeing where it's gotten is absolutely incredible. And the people we've met along the way, Costa C, Costa K, everybody.
Marcial, Dimitris.
Exactly, our other co-hosts as well. They're not here, but it's an amazing thing. So to be able to do this now is something else. So we're really pumped for it.
And it's amazing because Marcial, he's from France, and Dimitris, he's from heaven. So it's incredible the outreach we have. When's the Archbishop again?
If he goes.
Oh God.
Fetanos, it's been a while, buddy. Haven't
Yeah,
seen
it's
you in
been a
the chat in a
while.
while. If we win, are we going to do a
Yes.
boozing with the boys? We haven't done that in a while. Yeah, well, we have to do that. I wanted to do one over the holidays. I just didn't have time.
Absolutely. We need to do a boozing
do
with the
that.
boys.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure, we'll do that.
With our merch, hopefully with our merch by then. Everybody,
There you
all
go.
of us will be wearing a piece of our merch.
Exactly. And I'm getting once the rest of the stuff comes in next week, I will also have some stuff that's going to be available for the giveaway too. So we'll do a giveaway or two with our new merch, and we're really excited about that. We fixed that with Dimitri, by the way, so he won't have that. He doesn't have the divine voice anymore.
Oh my God! Oh Lord Jesus!
The blasphemy on this show the last few minutes.
Guys are getting me in trouble with the bishop. Thank you.
We are very much looking forward to having the bishop though in this show.
Yes,
It's going to be a very special show. Absolutely very special show.
Before we close, we haven't even talked about like the rocket that Podence scored, or the bicycle kick from El Kabi, like the third. Some lovely goals today. It was almost reminiscent of Leonel Nunez's bicycle kick, which was maybe not as much, but great finish from El Kabi. Has to be said. Yeah. The third one in particular.
They're liberated. Those players are liberated. It is a new day under Mendilibar, and if we still had Carvalhal, we would have lost both of our last two matches, in my opinion. Sorry, Ari, I interrupted you.
No, you're right, Costa. You pretty much hit exactly what I was going to say. It was I was going to say both of El Kabi's goals were solid finishes in that respect. Podence's was crazy because usually we're talking about how his shots don't have a lot of power, and that was like power placement. I mean, incredible, absolutely incredible.
Has he ever scored a goal like that? I swear, never.
No,
never.
Not for us. Inside with his right foot.
Never seen him score a goal like that.
Nope, no. Not like that.
Never seen him do that in my life.
Top shelf.
How much of a shame is it that these goals took place away from Karaiskaki? Can you imagine the atmosphere that was in Karaiskaki?
Honestly, the fact that it happened in Tumba, I almost misspoke, sorry. But I don't know, the fact that it happened there is also extra special because giving that back, you know what I mean? Because when we ate 4 goals in the Karaiskaki, it was like the worst feeling. So the fact that we just did it there, I mean, we force-fed them omeletta through a straw with that game. I mean, it was that I love that in a sense more than if we had scored that in the Karaiskaki. That's me personally. So I loved it every second.
No, I completely agree with you both. But like, here's something that I'm probably gonna piss a lot of people off now. When I look back at that El Arabi goal against Arsenal, that goal at the Emirates, I just miss the roar of our crowd. Like, I can barely hear our own. Whereas if that had happened at Karaiskaki, can you imagine the explosion, the erosion, the noise that would stay with you forever? Whereas it was like that. Whereas at Karaiskaki would have been, I can't do it now, but my God. No, I understand what you're saying. It is special, but it's just the atmosphere. It just misses that atmosphere.
I'll tell you what, Costa, before we go, I wasn't going to come to any playoff game, but that's changed. So you and you and I, some live commentary, more blogs coming your way.
Absolutely. Eat your heart out, Martin Tyler and Gary Neville. Eat your heart out.
All right, guys. Anybody have anything else before we go ahead and close this up? It's been almost 2 hours. An incredible show. Well over 1,000 people have tuned in already. I'm as happy as I was when we started. I haven't gone down yet. I hope this feeling never leaves. What about you guys? How do you feel? Still
I
feel
feel like
good?
we have the
Tired?
I feel like us at Gate 7 International, we have the best fans in the world. That's how I feel.
That we do. That we do.
Man,
Go so see.
these kinds of games, like whether we win, lose, like I can barely sleep after a game like this.
I know the feeling indeed. Well, you guys heard it all here. Hour 45 minutes of it. Fun. Enjoyment. Something we haven't had a lot of. Three episodes in a row now. So this is Gate 7 International by the fans for the fans. We're here for you in the good and the bad times. We love the good times better, of course. And hopefully there's more good times ahead of us, especially this Thursday. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. A lot of fun stuff coming up. Keep the eye out. Merch advertisements will probably end up going out at some point this week, so we're pumped for it. See you guys post-match on Thursday. Oh my goodness, right at the buzzer. Dimitri.
Hello.
And look, do you see that? He sounds so clean now.
Can we have a voice? Can we have a voice check, Dimitri? Could you please approach the microphone and say "repent" for me?
Do you want me to turn the echo on and put the church?
He sounds like God again. I
thought we fixed it.
Wait, I sound like God again. Is it better now? Is it worse now?
It's so much worse.
Wait, I've got my dog trying to eat everything. Wait, 1 second. Is it better now?
No, it's not.
Oh God, guys.
Henceforth, you will be known. Henceforth, you will be known as the Archbishop.
Bishop of Gate 7.
My
Don't
dog's
say this
bowel,
when the
by
bishop's
way.
on here.
Can
Oh
you
my
see it's
God.
black and white. My dog's bowel. Look at him.
I think I'm just Ari, I'm sorry, man. I think I'm just gonna cancel myself because I don't think I can hold myself anymore.
Wait,
Holy shit!
does it still sound bad? I thought I fixed it.
Guys,
I thought we fixed it too, but now it sounds like it.
Wait, 1 second. Okay, this is ridiculous.
Guys, can we just tell him it's perfect?
Okay, what about now?
There we go.
There we go.
No, you're fucking with me, aren't you?
No, I'm serious.
Okay.
Now it's
Now we can say this is Gate 7 International by the fans for the fans. See you next time.
It was a pleasure seeing you.
Yeah.
What a great night.
adios, boys and girls. We'll see you on Thursday.
Ocupa, gente, lá vai.